Bom dia and welcome to the paddock. My name's Alexa and I'll be your guide for this São Paulo race weekend, the beginning of season 11. We're going to be taking you behind the scenes with us, and obviously we've got to start off with track walk. So come on, let's go. Jake, you've gone blonde over the summer. Does that help with car aerodynamics?
I mean, I'm trying. Brunette didn't work last year, so we'll mix it up.
We've seen Jake Dennis has now gone blonde.
Look, he hasn't gone blonde. Jake, you put a couple of little highlights in. I've gone full.
Full send.
Full send.
Billy, going to be joining us? Any more races this year? Everyone's favourite paddock pet?
Yeah, Billy's going to be coming along. I'm going to try and get him out to Monaco, obviously. It's only a short walk for us, so he's pretty good round turn 1, 2, 3 right now. He knows that layout quite well.
So one of the things about track walk is we actually have to do quite a lot of waiting for the drivers to come past, but it means we see cool things like this. This is the TV camera that they use to film the starting grid, and actually so much time and effort goes into setting all of this up. And it's really technical, and I wish I could explain it to you, but ultimately I really can't. So Zane, finally, the race weekend's here. Welcome to Formula E. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, it's nice and warm like Barbados, so hopefully the rain stays away, or hopefully for us the rain comes, gives us a chance, but looking forward to it.
Do you feel like you've got an advantage being so used to the heat here?
Well, you can see everyone has umbrellas, I don't. So maybe it is a thing. Coming from Germany with the team last week, 0 degrees. This is much nicer. This is more about me, more for me.
Best of luck, Zane. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Sam. Welcome back, our previous São Paulo race winner. How does it feel to be back in a place where you've had so much success over the years?
It feels nice. Feels nice to be back. First race of season 11.
Woo-hoo.
So yeah.
I need your best weatherman impression. What are you expecting we're going to see this one?
I mean, I'll be as good as Michael Fish was back in 1987.
Too niche a reference, Sam. Hello, Antonio. How are you?
I'm really good.
Are you going to be like... Yeah, now we are, yeah. We were going to bring the whole song back. Dak is back. All right.
Like I've said that a few times, you know, I feel like I always need to say that once a year, you know, because I go through a slump and then I come back. So hopefully Dak will's not back, it's just there. It's just there.
And now he's always back.
Dak's there.
Dak's actually checked in and he's
Exactly.
permanently...
Yeah. That's the plan. But...
It's okay. Anyway, thanks, Antonio. Reigning champion, Pascal Wehrlein, welcome back. Did you have a spring in your step heading back into the paddock yesterday? The guy.
No. So yeah, good to be back, but everyone starts from zero again. So last year doesn't count. Obviously, a nice feeling going into the season. The off season was a bit more quiet with less regrets than in the other years where you think, oh, I could have done this better and maybe I would have won a championship. But yeah, everyone starts from zero again and we are ready to go.
It'll be a good show. Thank you, Pascal. Enjoy the track walk. So the drivers have experienced this track on foot. Then it was time for them to get behind the wheel. Free practice 1 happened yesterday. Today it's free practice 2, qualifying and the race all in one day. Qualifying is a really, really exciting format. The grid is split in half with the top 4 from each group going through to the duels once they've set the fastest time they possibly can. Then in the duels, they go head to head. The fastest driver carries on into the quarterfinal, semi-final, until there's only 2 left in the final. The winner of that battle, of that duel, will have the Julius Baer Pole Position Award. It's an amazing thing to watch. So, qualifying's up next. Let's see what went down.
In the semi-finals, we have Oliver Rowland against Jake Dennis, the 2 British drivers, and then we've got Max Günther up against Pascal Wehrlein. It's going to be a great fight to see who makes the final. So here we go, head-to-head. The next duel is between Oliver Rowland and Jake Dennis. Let's see, Dennis is catching up, as you said. Jake Dennis is getting much, much closer. Oh, he's lost a little bit through that section. It all counts on the last corner. Can he just sneak ahead? Okay, oh 0.001. So it means that Ollie Rowland has done it. But it's just 0.001 of a second that Jake Dennis missed out in the second semi-final. Maximilian Günther with the DS Penske up against the reigning champion Pascal Wehrlein in the Porsche. Pascal Wehrlein's on target here to go into the battle for pole position, as he has done on many occasions. Let's see whether he gets it right out of the last corner. I think he's going to do this straightforward. Yes, he does. He does a 1.9.859. Pascal Wehrlein, the reigning champion, is back into the battle for pole position once again. Into the final, British driver Oliver Rowland driving for Nissan up against Pascal Wehrlein driving for Porsche. So the predictors are saying it's going to be Pascal Wehrlein. But Ollie Rowland has shown great pace throughout the course of free practice and now the qualifying sessions as well. Coming through turns 7 and 8, two 90-degree right-handers, back onto full throttle, four-wheel drive, right out to the wall and trying to make it work.
Machine, the guy is not leaving anything on the table, like he's really getting so close to the walls, arriving, drifting into the corners, really squeezing out everything, and it looks like he's probably going to take pole position. Let's wait for Pascal's side.
Cross the line, let's see, he's done a 109.95, but Fairline's very close as well, over the line. He's coming towards it, he will see very close because he's gone faster already into that final sector. 0.084, now it's down to 0.041. We don't know who's going to take pole position. Checkered flag is out, and it's Fairline who's done it. Fairline takes pole position, a 109.851, snatching it from Oliver Rowland through that final section. Great stuff.
Okay, wow, what a qualifying session that was. Pascal Wehrlein on pole position. Maybe that should have been expected given that he was on pole here last year and he was on pole for the first race of the season last year. Man's got quali form, but just behind him, Oliver Rowland. And to be honest, that was a pretty good battle, but the one I loved even more, this semi-final duel, the battle of the Brits between him and Jake Dennis. Oliver Rowland won by just 1,000th of a second, and across the grid it was just so unbelievably close. One interesting thing as well, if you look at the difference between Gen 3 and Gen 3 Evo in the duels when they're using that four-wheel drive and extra power, there was nearly a 3-second difference between the times. They have made so much progress with this Gen 3 Evo machinery, and you can see it out on track. Super, super cool. But now, let's go have a chat with some of the drivers and hear what they had to say about qualifying. Taylor. Not only were you the fastest rookie in qualifying, you're also the most sunburnt rookie.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about the sunburn, it's not great. Yeah, obviously qualifying didn't go exactly as expected for us as a team. Obviously things to work on for future, but it's okay.
Jake, I thought you'd finally brought me a chair for one of our interviews and instead it's just to keep you cool. What is this?
Just some dry ice and a fan.
High tech, bro.
Yeah, well, not really. Very basic, it just looks good, doesn't it?
Look, 1,000th of a second, mate. That's ridiculous. Like, how close was that?
Well, very close. I think someone worked it out. I think it's a few inches. So yeah, it's pretty close, but feeling confident that if I survive sector 1 on the first lap, then we can have a good race here.
Thanks, Jake. Good luck, mate. Pascal Wehrlein, I'm sorry, what is it with you? The first race of the season last year you took pole. Sao Paulo this year you took pole. You've done it again. What is it about these races that you just keep smashing it?
I'm just good initially and good sometimes throughout the season then as well.
We're asking for some bold predictions for what's going on in the race today. What do you think we could see happening in the race? What kind of shenanigans are you expecting?
10 DNFs.
10 DNFs. I like it.
You said bold predictions.
Hello, Edo. We are running around and doing bold predictions for the race. Have you got anything rogue that might happen?
That we are going to end up having a top 5.
That doesn't feel bold, that feels quite feasible.
Thank you, firstly. That we are going to have like the 2 cars finishing in the top 10.
I like that. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Edo. What a quali that was, mate. How are you feeling heading into the race?
Good, yeah. I think qualifying was my biggest concern coming into the weekend. I think for the race, it's going to be very hot, but we're starting at the right end, so hopefully it's a bit easier.
Well, actually, we're asking for bold predictions. What kind of shenanigans are you expecting to see from the race today?
I guess someone coming from the back, maybe using attack mode early on. Honestly, I haven't even seen the grid, so I don't know.
So would you have to surprise you with the grid?
I know roughly the top 8 because I went against them in the duels, but the rest I'm not sure.
So it'll be a surprise, basically, whoever finishes where anyway.
Exactly. With our Formula 8, it's always a surprise.
Thanks, Ollie. We're walking to the grid now, and as you can see, all the team's mechanics are heading along behind me. Just noticed that Jag have got their own ice vests. I want to be a mechanic there. Damn. All the drivers going for a wee. That's genuinely what they do before the grid. Things you only see on the grid in Sao Paulo. It's so beautiful to be here. The atmosphere is absolutely electric. Because track walk's done, free practice is done, qualifying is done. What a drama that was, eh? And now, guess what? It's time to go on a little grid walk because behind me we have the pole sitter, Pascal Wehrlein, last year's world champion. But one man who really wants to stop him, Oliver Rowland. And I have a funny feeling about Oliver Rowland causing some drama in this race. P2 only just behind Pascal Wehrlein. I don't know, man, I've got a good feeling about this. Let's Let's keep going. And the thing about the grid here in São Paulo is actually quite a long one because, well, this main straight is so long. It's all very spread out, lots of room for all of the fans who are here to come down and see. It's actually, the grid's beginning to empty out because it's not long now until we go racing. Starting in P3, we have former world champion Jake Dennis with Andretti Formula E team. Jake's going to be really disappointed to have missed out on the duels by just 1,000th of a second. That's like basically a matter of centimetres. It was nothing at all. And so that just shows how closely packed this grid is going to be. Follow me to P4 on the grid. Maximilian Gunther, Max to his friends, in the brand new DS Penske automobile machine, the black and the gold. Also, it's his brand new team. He's going to want to make a really good first impression on them today. Guys, it's that hot on the grid, the camera's overheated. But what I wanted to show you, we couldn't miss this. Antonio Felix da Costa doing his little final stretches and getting in the car. He always does this fun little like hamster-esque routine. He's not going to thank me for calling that a hamster move, but in he goes. And that means it's time for us to get off the grid because it's time to go racing! Yes! Thank you! The man on pole position! Taylor! Come on, today, mate. Let's go racing!
Lights out, Formula E is go with four-wheel drive traction, and it's Pascal Wehrlein battling away with Oliver Rowland, and Oliver Rowland on the inside for Nissan has got the edge into turn one. Oliver Rowland leads, big battle behind Jake Dennis, side by side there with Max Günther, and Günther is trying to take that third place. I think he probably has from Jake Dennis. Remember, this is early stages of the race.
Oh, big crash there.
That's a safety car for sure.
Nico Müller and Jake Hughes, that is.
Yeah, Nico Müller is the one on the inside, Jake Hughes on the outside with the Maserati.
Oh, Jake Dennis, issue there.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Like a technical issue.
Oh, well, that is a great shame because he has been running extremely well in this race, Jake Dennis. For the second time today in São Paulo in Brazil. Lights out, we're racing once again, and again it's a good start from Oliver Rowland, I think. Oliver Rowland in the red and white Nissan has definitely got off the line well, and he's going to retake the lead. Yes, he is, from Antonio Felix da Costa, but Max Günther goes round the outside, and then on the inside, Max Günther moves up into second place.
Oliver Rowland is under investigation for overpower. This is something we saw strike down the other three Nissan powertrains earlier on in the race.
You were over 1% up on like both the three of them.
Wow, this is all coming together for Jaguar superbly at the moment. He's got up into what is third. Potentially, it could be second if Rowland does get the penalty.
He's in the podium position, having started dead last in this race.
Incredible. Listen to Rowland.
Do I have a drive-through?
Yes, mate, drive-through. Well, serve it this lap.
Oh, we have now learnt he does have a drive-through, Oliver Rowland. You're on board with Mitch Evans right now. It's a go moment, there's no doubt about it. He's coming up to try and go past his teammate Nick Cassidy. He's got the extra power. It's easy. He sweeps past. Remember, this is not the race over, and he is about to run out of that extra power, and then it could go down to a battle between them without either of them having the extra power. But will the team allow that? Oh, no, contact. Oh,
that's Günther in the wall there on the exit turn 5.
Oh my God, rolled over.
So they're not to do anything silly.
Big crash there for one of the, I think it was one of the Porsches.
This is the restart of the race, probably the final start with added laps as well. 4 added laps, so we've still got plenty more to play with here. We're coming down into that section where Sandberg took the win last year. Let's see how this goes.
There could be a big lift here on the last corner like last year.
Barnard had nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go. Mitch Evans is still there. It looks good for Mitch Evans. Mitch Evans is heading through the final corner, and it looks as though the man who started at the very back wins in São Paulo. Remarkable.
And now it's time to celebrate with Captain John.
John, I don't think I've recovered from that yet.
It was a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't recovered from watching Nick Cassidy do the first attack mode that I've seen in the new era of this motorsport, and going like just past several drivers, and I'm like, whoa, okay, this really is, because all the drivers have told us for months now, this is going to make a huge difference. We've got the all-wheel drive in the attack mode, and I mean, we saw the difference there, didn't we? And he was the pioneer, I would like to say, because I think he was the first one to really make a few places up with it.
We'll say less about the rest of Cassie's day. I've seen him out the back of the garage now, looking a little bit somber, and actually, as you can probably tell behind us, pack down is ongoing, and it's efficient, it's speedy. And one team that actually managed to get their pack down done nearly before the race ended was Andretti, because honestly, what a day to forget for the team that looked so strong coming into it.
It's really disappointing for Nico Muller. Also, Jake Hughes, who's moved across to Maserati MSG Racing, because they wanted their season to start with a bang. It ended with a bang very early on in the race, didn't it? A bang into the wall, which really wasn't either of their faults.
No.
Which is not the way you want it. Obviously, they're both okay, but when you come into a new race season, you want to do what Taylor Barnard's done. You want to get on a podium and have people looking at you in disbelief, going, how did you get on the podium? It's, I mean, fantastic for him, but yeah, Andretti, not a good day for them. Jake Dennis obviously stopping and causing that red flag. Really disappointing for him. I saw him crouching down on his phone in the media pen. He wasn't really up for chatting away. But
he'd had enough.
Yeah, he's already mentally on that plane home, I think.
I don't blame him. And actually, the one thing we really have to talk about, the battle that kind of created all of the carnage, and I still haven't really had time to unpick it, but there was a proper good fight going on between Cassidy, Evans, Pascal Wehrlein, the two McLarens. Just about anybody fancied a little bit of a nose in there, but ultimately ended in tears.
Yeah, so after Nick Cassidy had made up his places, I was like, wow, okay, the Jags, they might be a little bit further back, but they're gonna come from behind. And we saw Mitch Evans early on make up a load of places there, and that wasn't even with attack mode. He had a great start making up 10 places early on, and then it just got kind of chaotic, and we just find that the teams that we were expecting to do well all kind of met each other. And obviously Pascal Wehrlein has gone to hospital and he's being precautionary checked.
We wish him well.
I mean, that's a scary incident, isn't it? Because you can see now why we have halos in motorsport, why we have catch fencing as well, to protect the fans and the marshals, because something so simple can happen like that, and it looks absolutely crazy, like we saw, from, just a bit of contact, but, you can see the dangers of motorsport. So good that Pascal Wehrlein's okay, but, I mean, the battle was fierce. Ollie Rowland is another one. We saw Ollie Rowland get out to the front early on. He then went out to the front after the red flag again. We thought, this is Ollie Rowland's day. He's going to start this season like he started last season, and then he got a penalty, and things didn't go very well for him. Can I highlight Mahindra, by the way? Mahindra is over behind us here, because for them to come 5th and 7th, I think is a really good, a really positive weekend, because Eden Mortara and Nick de Vries were showing positive signs in FP1 and FP2.
Well, actually, I want to highlight that as well, because I had little bold predictions off, if you remember, with Edo Mortara earlier, and he initially went, I will get a top 5 finish, and I told him, that's not bold, you can do that, and he went, fine, both of us in the top 10. And I said to him afterwards, like, hold on, buddy. And actually the smile on his face, you can tell that means a lot to the team after the struggles they had last year to come in, and actually they'll be quite high in the standings as a result of that. Hey, what team effort!
A hugely successful driver and also a great fortune teller. If you ever need your palm read or anything like that,
maybe that's what I need. Lottery numbers, Edo? Anyone?
Yeah,
maybe.
In fact, yeah. Why am I going palm reading? I should be going lottery numbers, shouldn't I?
Think of the big picture.
Something that you don't see on TV that I always love is the fact that when you're packing down, you have to wear fluorescent outfits so that you kind of you stand out, because obviously you've seen a lot of trucks going past. Obviously, Cupra Kiro, they're fluorescent anyway, so I feel like they don't even need to change their clothing at all.
But I think it's kind of fun, because then it confuses me, because Envision have orange fluorescent. Can you see it down the pit lane?
So I can see it down the back
pretty
there,
bright. And actually, let's finish up talking about fluorescent orange once more, or Papaya and Taylor Barnard. I just spoke to him just then. The kid's the happiest man on the planet, and honestly, I think it's a real credit to Sam Bird as well, how he can stand there and go, you know what, the kid did good today, and take the fact that he only was P4, they worked together, they did what had to be done.
At testing, I spoke to Sam Bird and I said, are you worried that you have a young, a really highly fancied driver coming in? And he was like joking around about, I think he's going to beat me this year, and he's already beaten him. I know it's one place, but good team orders from them, very solid result for Neil McLaren. And I think for Taylor, that's going to give him so much confidence, isn't it, going into the next round in Mexico, because he's a quiet kind of guy, and we've seen him grow in stature already, and now he's on top of the world. He's going to be going through his phone, he's going to spend the whole flight home probably replying to people, and it's just, I mean, it's fantastic. And we had 3 rookies making their full season debuts this weekend. It didn't quite go as well for David Beckman. Zane Maloney had moments, but for Taylor Barnard, it's really shown that investing in youth is a really sensible thing to do in motorsport at the moment. Not that we want to get rid of any of the legends like Lucas de Grassi or Sam Bird anytime soon.
I don't want to brush over Antonio Felix da Costa, because a very, very well-deserved second place, but it was hardly anywhere as chaotic or, quite frankly, as impressive as Mitch Evans. From last to first.
If I started a race last, I'm not a racing driver, my mind would be, in the gutter. I would just, not in the gutter, that's probably not what I mean. You know what I mean? It would be very low. My mind would be
Head's
low.
gone. Head's gone.
My head would be gone. But for Mitch Evans to get into that car and think, you know what? I know I've got a good car. I know I'm a good driver. To make up so many places early on and then to somehow be in the mix to win the race and then hold off a driver in a great car like Antonio Felix da Costa in the Tag Heuer Porsche, I mean, that for me ranks up there with him winning in Monaco, his home race that he's wanted to win for years, and he finally achieved that last season. And already this season, we've seen this epic performance. And I think, what is the second driver to ever start last and finish first in Formula E?
No, the first.
The first?
He's the first
Hey, I
ever driver.
misheard the TV.
No. So we've had a driver who's dropped to last and come all the way back.
Was that Nick Cassidy? I don't know who it
Don't
was.
put me on the spot. Don't put me on the spot. But we've never had somebody start dead last and work their way up. And also credit to Jaguar where it's deserved, because without that incident for Cassidy, they were on for a very solid points haul. So perhaps not so good in qualifying, but dark horses for the rest of the season.
Yeah, frustrating for Nick Cassidy though, of course. After how it ended last season, he'd have wanted to start really well. And obviously, you know, to watch Mitch Evans then get a huge lead on him in the championship already must be, a little bit tricky. But he'll be back in Mexico and we know he'll be firing on all cylinders.
Well, yeah, thank you, Jonas, because you're right, it's not long to go now until we are in Mexico City. Thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget, we'll be doing this every race weekend, so don't miss out. And we will see you on the 11th of January for the race from Mexico City.